What's up, you guys? So, I have been getting DMs from you guys all morning. First of all, happy Sunday. I thought I was going to take today off, but I've been getting DMs from you guys all morning wanting me to cover this story of Tyrone Gilliams, Sheree's boyfriend, wanting to be scrubbed from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. TMZ reports Sheree Whitfield's boyfriend isn't talking to her, but he wants a chat with the folks at Bravo because he's pissed off about his past appearance on his girlfriend's reality show. The Real Housewives of Atlanta star's boyfriend, Tyrone Gilliams, had his legal team fire off a cease and desist letter to the network, claiming the show's been using his name and likeness without his permission. Now, that's what I didn't know. I've shared with you guys that as a blogger, like I've signed contracts with the production company for Real Housewives of Atlanta and most recently Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So for them to just use my headline, for them to just use my headline on the show, I've signed off contracts. But for him, them using his name and likeness, you would think that they had a contract with him, but apparently they don't. According to the legal thread obtained by TMZ, Tyrone says he never gave the green light for him to become a recurring RHOA storyline back in the day. Even when he wasn't actually on camera, he was often discussed by cast members, and he says the network's been profiting off him without permission. As you guys know, if you watch my previous videos, things came to a head recently when allegedly Sheree and the production company at Truly Original set up the scene where allegedly she was supposed to meet Tyrone at a restaurant, which still doesn't make sense to me. I said this in my past video and I'll say it again today. I don't understand why you would set up a scene to meet someone at a restaurant when you know that they are on home confinement. It still doesn't make sense to me. But apparently, it caused an explosion between Sheree and Tyrone and the whole production. And so now, with Tyrone wanting to be scrubbed from the show, like sending this cease and desist and wanting to be scrubbed from the show, it kind of sort of put Sheree in jeopardy of losing her peach because it was reported that in order for her to come back for this season 14, she wanted to one be a full-time housewife. She was like, she's not going to be a friend of the show. She wants to be a full-time housewife. And it was also reported that she wanted her boyfriend featured on the show. TMZ reported Sheree got back together with her old boyfriend Tyrone Gilliams earlier this year after he was released from prison. Their sources said her relationship with Tyrone will be a major storyline if Sheree returns, and that she wouldn't even have considered coming back if he was cut out of the picture. So before we get into the legal documents, leave a comment and let me know what you think. What does that mean for Sheree? If her major storyline was her relationship with her man and he wants to be cut out of the show, what does that mean for Sheree? Leave a comment and let me know what you think. And let's go ahead and get into these documents. All right, so you can see on page 1, this is the cease and desist for unlawful use of Tyrone Gilliams' name and likeness. And it was sent to Truly Original, the production company, Bravo Media, and NBC Universal. And it says they've unlawfully used Tyrone's name and likeness for commercial purposes in connection with the television program The Real Housewives of Atlanta, and that violates numerous state and federal laws governing misappropriation and right of publicity. And then they give the links to a few YouTube videos that Bravo has uploaded that feature Sheree speaking with Tyrone on the telephone and the other ladies having conversations about Tyrone. If you go to page 2 of the documents, it explains, it says, please be aware that at no time has Mr. Gilliams or his agents entered into an agreement with production or the network or otherwise granted permission to productions and network or any third-party entity to use his name or likeness in connection with the program. So he's never given his permission. He's never signed a contract. And it says, furthermore, we are not aware that production or the network made any inquiry or gesture to even contact Mr. Gilliams' representatives to obtain such authorization. So he didn't sign a contract, and they're not aware that production even tried to send him a contract. Then he gets sent to Pennsylvania law, and it says that Pennsylvania law provides that any natural person whose name or likeness has commercial value and is used for any commercial or advertising purpose without the written consent of such natural person or the written consent of any other parties authorized may bring action to enjoin which basically means stop, like cease, to enjoin such unauthorized use and recover damages. Now, damages is where the money resides. That's where the money is at, in damages. So it's recover damages for any loss or injury sustained by such use. And then it goes on to cite the law, the act that entitles people to be able to recover from, like, for example, the production company or the network, any profits derived from the unauthorized use of his name and likeness, as well as treble damages, which is like a multiplication of damages. Treble, like triple damages, and costs incurred in defending Mr. Gilliams' intellectual property rights. Yikes. So this is not a lawsuit, just to be clear. It's not a lawsuit. It's a warning. It's a cease and desist, but it mentions that he could be due damages. So it says on page 3, according on behalf of Mr. Gilliams, we hereby demand that productions and the network immediately comply with the following. Number 1, cease and desist any and all exploitation of Mr. Gilliams' name and likeness. Number 2, remove all programming and related promotional social media posts that unlawfully and fraudulently use Mr. Gilliams' name and likeness. So they would have to take down those YouTube videos that mention Tyrone. And then when it comes to streaming the episodes where Sheree has talked about Tyrone and talked to Tyrone, this is asking for that to be removed in number 2. And then in number 3, it says cease and desist marketing, advertising, and exploiting any content that contains Mr. Gilliams' name and likeness. Wow. So again, what do you guys think this means for Sheree? How will this affect her on the show? Do y'all think that she's going to end up losing her peach? Like, how do y'all think this is going to play out? Leave a comment and let me know what you think. Did you think that Tyrone had already signed a contract to be featured on Bravo? Was that your assumption? Leave a comment and let me know what you think. As always, thanks for watching.